What's happening, everyone? My name is Max, and today we're going to be checking out Cardi B. This will be my very first time looking at her on this channel. I'm familiar with some of her music, but I don't think I've ever actually sat down and watched an interview with her. This is just going to be a reaction. I'll let you know what I think, and I look forward to checking this out.
What's going through your head as you prepare to take on the gauntlet? Are you nervous at all? Are you naturally a hot sauce person?
I'm nervous because it's like I'm setting myself up to have diarrhea. So it's like I know what's gonna happen later on. It's worth it because I'm telling you, my fans been begging me to do this show for so long. I have to give it to them, and I'm so scared. Oh my gosh.
So she doesn't really have much of a filter, does she? From everything that I've heard about her, and I've seen some of her tweets online, she doesn't really have a filter, and potentially that's what makes her so entertaining and enjoyable, at least part of it. It's like you don't know what's gonna come out of her mouth, and she's just gonna say what she feels and doesn't seem to be concerned about the repercussions. That's definitely I would say, a captivating quality. I can see a lot of people being kind of turned off by that, but I can also see a lot of people really appreciating that as well, because she's not trying to, what it seems, appease anyone. She's just being her, for better or worse. But I also right away, it seems like she's got a certain amount of awareness and respect for her fan base. Although she's this massive celebrity, it doesn't necessarily feel like she's put herself on top of this mountain where she's completely disconnected from what her fans are saying. She seems pretty tapped in. Her fans have been begging her to do this show, and she's like, I gotta do it.
My fans been begging me to do this show. I have to give it to them, and I'm so scared.
She's funny, man. And there's also a real humor to not being filtered, and I can see a lot of people finding her funny. So let's continue here.
So I want to congratulate you on a flawless rollout for Bongos. Great song, ace the video. You're very picky about the beats that you choose to work with. Do you remember your initial reaction to hearing that Dembo style Bongos beat for the first time? Did you immediately recognize its potential to be a hit?
I don't know if I realized it was a potential to be a hit.
This is such a funny fucking collaboration, seeing Sean Evans here, who I've seen a few times, who's just such a nice guy, and he just showers people with compliments, but they're good compliments because they're unique and they're very specific to the person that he's interviewing, and they make the person that he's interviewing feel like he's really done his research, which obviously is going to make them feel special. Hey, you took the extra time to check out my stuff.
Bongos, it just has a theme. You could just hear tropical music, beach, pool, party. So it's how can we make beach luxurious? And that's exactly what we do, honey. That's what we do. And nothing more luxurious than hats and big feathers and big everything grand. I love big. I'm extra. I'm a Libra.
Yeah, she's bold, man. She's bold. She wears her personality very loud and proud, and she enjoys doing that. She's like, I'm gonna be me, and I'm gonna own it. She makes it a point to play into it. I think she's extra, but I think being extra is a part of her personality. She's like, I enjoy being extra. I'm gonna step into my personality even more. She believes what she says, and she wants what she says to be heard. She wants to be seen. She likes being seen. She likes being vocal. She just got a lot of life to her in that way.
I want to smell it. Angry goat bell pepper. Mr. Shishito. Shishito. Oh, I like shishito pepper.
You do?
Yeah, I eat it in Noble all the time. Okay, let's try it. I could taste the shishito.
Little garlic trailed behind there a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's part of what makes her relatable too. She's again, the unfiltered comments come through, and they're not necessarily always inappropriate. When I say unfiltered, it doesn't necessarily imply inappropriate. But even there, she's like, oh, I have it at Nobu all the time.
Yeah, I eat it at Nobu all the time.
I think little things like that, something comes to her mind and she says it, I think that actually helps with her relatability, because she'll say things that she might not intentionally know are relatable, because she says what comes into her head, even at the beginning when she was talking about her bowels.
I'm setting myself up to have diarrhea.
As some people might find that a little too crass and vulgar, we can all relate to that.
It's just such a proud moment that out of anybody in the world, he picked me and he trusted me to put on a museum piece. It's like when I'm older, and I have my own grandkids, they're like, yeah, cause you know Terry McLaren? Oh, he big, he had me.
My first impression of Cardi, not really knowing her, is she's just sort of like in her own world, obsessed with herself and arrogant, and perhaps there's some truth to some of that. I don't really know her, but you know, there's signs of humility throughout this interview, and even there, paying homage to this designer and talking about how touched she was that he would choose her. So she's human too. You know, she might be tough and she might be loud and all these things, but she's got feelings too.
Are there any artists, anybody that you look to as a role model for how you might want to age or mature as an artist?
Interesting question.
It would be like Jay-Z, Rihanna, and I feel like my tongue is drunk. I feel like my tongue is drunk. Like, it's like I'm trying to say something and it's like I can't even focus on the fucking question because it's like.
And that's sort of what, again, I think humanizes Cardi B, and part of what makes her very likable is she's not gonna hide how she feels in the moment. Like, she's not gonna try to pretend to answer something in order to just appease the person she's speaking with. Like, she's very much going to say exactly how she feels in that exact moment. So if something like takes over her, or another thought comes in, if she's overwhelmed by something, whether it be an emotion or something physiological, she's gonna bring that up. Like, there's no pretending with her. I think that's what's cool, and I think that's part of what's likable, right? You kind of know you're getting the real her. That's what it feels like. And there's a trustworthy factor to that. And that might be a weird word for some people to think to associate with Cardi B, trustworthy, but there is an element of trust there because we kind of know we're getting the real her. And she's not taking us for a ride or saying things in order to get a certain response because she wants to be liked in a certain way.
Ooh, but she's good. I'm torturing myself. Okay.
But she's good.
But the milk. This is
Makes
how
the spice all worth it, yeah.
This is how I imagine my breast milk to taste like.
Again, naturally funny, and I think that just that no filter allows her to be that way. Like, I don't think she is funny in the sense like a stand-up comedian crafting really well-timed observational jokes. Maybe she has that ability too, but it's more in the fact that she's willing to say whatever, and the fact that she is honest and unfiltered contributes to why I think she's so funny. Like, she's free, and I think some of the funniest people are the freest people.
Do you have a lasting memory from taking David Letterman to get a chopped cheese sandwich? You know, as a fan of both Dave and New York's Greatest Sandwich, it was quite the cultural moment to witness.
Okay, when does it leave? All right. When does it leave my tongue?
So it's gonna kind of...
Yeah, she's like, fuck that, I'm not answering this right now.
For a little bit.
And I think, you know, I've heard a lot of people say, oh, she's a bad role model, this and that. I don't know, man. Maybe there's some truth to that. I'm not gonna get into that element of it, but I can certainly see a lot of people being inspired by the fact that she owns who she is. I think there's definitely an inspirational quality to that when we see someone who is just brave enough to be themselves and say what they think and own their personality. And obviously she's a huge success as well. I can certainly see the appeal just from a communication perspective of just being what seems like her genuine self. That's attractive, that's captivating for a lot of people, that's inspiring for a lot of people, and we're drawn to that.
What you was asking me?
Oh, about taking David Letterman to get a chopped cheese sandwich. You know, did you have a lasting memory from that? Kind of an amazing cultural moment to witness.
That wasn't even like my favorite part. I didn't really care about that part. What stays in my mind for a long time is that I went to FDR's house.
Maybe some people would look at this as throwing shade on David Letterman because she's like, I don't even care about any of that.
I didn't really care about that part.
But again, this is the type of thing that I think a lot of people probably appreciate about her, is she's not trying to be respectful to try to sound humble or to try to sound respectful or to try to please anyone. I think that's kind of what's cool about Cardi. She's like, all right, I don't want to talk about the David Letterman thing because whatever, it is what it is, but this is what I find interesting. She chooses to talk about things that she finds enjoyable, that she finds interesting. And I think that adds to her liveliness and potentially something we can take away from her communication skills.
Shit, I keep it fucking focused.
That's all right.
My legs shaking.
That's all right, because Cardi, you gave it your all today, and it was so much more than we deserved. And now, all that's left to do is roll out the red carpet for you, Cardi B.
Yeah, but she's very human, like just incredibly relatable. To me, I kind of get it a little bit more. I get the Cardi B appeal a little bit more. I also can kind of see why people might not like her. They might think she's just too vulgar or crude or ridiculous, but you know, ultimately she's just a human being. She knows she's flawed. She's got a self-awareness about her, clearly. Yeah, she's a real person, man. I appreciate her. Guys, if you want to watch my uncut reaction and analysis of this video, all you need to do is go to my Patreon page. I've also done reactions to artists like Shakira, Doja Cat, and Aurora on my Patreon page. So if you're interested in checking any of those out, you can. I've included the link in my description below. Other than that, my name is Max. I will catch you soon. Peace.